How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? I'm back for more 8-star anime, along with my partner Dave. I got Raj, and some guy named Josh.
Woot woot!
Yeah,
I've heard he is Joe Gibson's homeboy.
Yeah.
And also, it's great to be back, Internet!
Welcome back.
See, that's a Funchism 107, or 112. I'm sorry, 107 is procedures bullshit.
Oh, that's fantastic. Mm-hmm. And on my return, I decided to bring on a movie of,
Is it animated?
Yes, it's animated. Great animation. Done by Mamoru Hosoda, known as The Boy and the Beast. His third film after Summer Wars and Wolf Children. 8-star Anime has done Wolf Children before, and we definitely enjoyed it. And this film is probably really no different. At least I would assume,
no different in the fact that we enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a different movie.
It's a different movie.
It's a very different movie.
It's a different movie, but
Whole different bunch of characters.
Well, duh. Anyways, so this film, for the most part, to give a quick synopsis, a boy who has, I wouldn't say completely orphaned per se, but in this terms, he is an orphan boy who is going to be taken in by his mom's family after she has passed. However, he seems very distant from them and does not want anything to be a part of them.
He's this many.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So as he's running away,
Thanks for counting.
Took me a second. I was like,
Alright, let's wait a second before we get too many punchlines.
9 seconds.
Shut up.
Yes, sir.
Anyways, so as he's out in the streets doing what he can to survive on his own, runs into two cloaked gentlemen, and obviously they are not human by any means. However, he follows them into their world, which happens to be very parallel to obviously to the human world at some point, but that's beyond the point. And from here, we learn that one of the big guys is a bear named Kumatetsu, who has decided to take this boy as his own apprentice. Of course, throughout the movie, they bicker, they fight, but eventually they kind of come to terms with each other.
I'm not sure, but I think Tetsu means iron.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the Iron Bear.
He's the Iron
Yes,
Bear.
That's
Yeah.
correct. Mm-hmm. That would be correct.
Because there's a little mythology in the first part about it. Yeah.
And so, with that, through, 8 years? Was it 8 years? 9 years. Our boy, who has been renamed from his original name Ren to Kyuta, has gotten better with his fighting, but at the same time has helped Kumatetsu better with his fighting and his personality. So it's kind of a give and take thing that they've gone through in the easy relationship of father-son without too many arguments.
I didn't say nothing.
Didn't think so.
This movie got hot.
However, at some point, his name kills me.
Kyuto.
Thank you.
Kyuta.
Kyuta eventually finds his way back into his world, at which he meets a girl named Kaede.
Who
And
spells her name like this?
yes, and she pretty much re-educates him in their language, their culture, and everything else because he's been gone for 8-9 years.
And he really wants to read Moby Dick.
Yeah, pretty much. Of course, he goes back and forth a lot to the point where Kumatetsu is questioning whether or not he really wants to be in, the Beast world.
To be the apprentice.
Be an apprentice anymore. Well, they get into an argument. Kyuta decides to leave, go back.
I'm gonna find my real dad!
I'm gonna
Try to go
real
back
bad.
to the human world. Find out the human world is probably not where he really wants to be either, because he has issues with, his now refound father, and he has issues with the idea of trying to reconnect with him even though to me it'd be the proper thing to do. But I mean,
He's walking around with a lot of anger.
a lot of anger.
I
In
didn't
him.
like my hair.
So as he goes back to the Beast World, and it's now time to decide who our new Lord of the Land is supposed to be.
This is a plot point.
This
Yes.
is most of the plot.
Most of it. Now, to be fair, his own teacher, Kumatetsu, is one of the people up for
Lordship.
Up for lordship, and the fight's not going very well for him until Kyuta decides to step in and stop a very long 9 count.
And cheer him on.
Cheer him on.
You can do it. Yeah.
Kumatetsu wins. However, the opponent... Nah, I cannot remember the other guy's name.
Bore Jesus.
Yeah, Bore Jesus. Bore Jesus. He accepts the loss very well. However, his son, one of his sons, does not. He ends up harboring a lot of darkness because of the loss.
Because apparently all the animal people couldn't tell he was a human.
Even though he just had a
All he needs to wear is a big floppy hat.
I know, he
boar
wears a
hat.
pretty fluffy hat, and so now he's one of the boars. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, are you going to question Bore Jesus?
No,
I'm just saying, if you wear one of the shirts, you can be one of the boys.
Yeah, right.
He ain't wrong.
You ain't wrong.
So, but from there, the darkness does take over him, the Bore Jesus' son, and so
That's not making a t-shirt.
Son of Bo Jesus.
Don't let the darkness take me like it did the Lord Jesus' son.
Wow. That's
Wow,
wow, that was actually
quotable.
Very quotable. Anyways, so Kyuta decides to take it in his own hands to solve this problem.
Spoilers.
And dude, this is spoilers since the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, I ain't sorry either at this point. This movie's too.
He's doing a synopsis.
I'm doing synopsis.
Yeah.
Not even-
Okay.
And from there, things are not looking well for Kyuta until the beast group has brought his mentor in the form of a sword. We'll explain that a little bit later.
Well, I
but
think Kaede adds a lot.
I
to
kind
it,
of
too.
does do help a little bit
Because it was her connection with him that was even the Bunny Lord even says as much where he's like, this young woman had a key part in
It keeps
in-
him
Yeah.
from falling
From
into
the darkness.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that in just a second. I just want to get hopefully some key
Yeah, yeah.
moments of the synopsis. And upon doing so, accepting Kumatetsu as his newfound soul, is able to defeat his
human rival.
Yeah.
We can do it that way. And thus, peace is now brought to both human world and the beast world once again. So, we can go into more detail as we go through, as we talk about each section and whatnot. But before we get to that, I kind of want to just get an idea of how everyone thought about the movie, what your likes, dislikes, and so forth. Josh, would you like to start with that?
first of all, just the amount of damn heart in this movie.
Mhm.
I mean, just super feel worthy. I love the themes of just almost literary use of foreshadowing. Where from the beginning, one of the first lessons that Kumatetsu gives Kyuta is, you gotta use the sword in your heart.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Do it right. Whoosh,
Whoosh, bang!
Who's bang? That's what you do.
Just gotta give it a whoosh and a bang.
But and I and especially once you get to the end, because beginning of Bore Jesus and Kumatetsu, where everyone says, "Oh, Kumatetsu's the slob and the failure," and
Possibly
and
alcohol.
Bore Jesus is he should be the Lord, and how his family is an elevation.
Yeah.
You realize
His hair game's on point.
he hates Kumatetsu so much because Kumatetsu's at least honest,
That's true.
where he's pretty much he has a lot of his life is a lie.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and he reveals that pretty much in front of everybody.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that. I didn't get that from the. I mean, I get what you're saying,
Yeah.
but I didn't see that. But maybe I wasn't looking deeper.
It really was a lie from the start. The only person who truly knew it, other than the actual family itself, was the Lord. The Lord knew straight up and was wondering, well, why?
I mean, I don't think they hate each other.
I don't think so.
I don't think
either.
they were-
I think they have just that good rivals, your style, you're so stiff and starch, and the other guy's all like,
Well, I think maybe
Mess
more
up from the ground
accurately that all his talk about how you can't take a boy because he's got a shadow in him.
Yeah.
That part,
That
was
was BS.
that was
Yeah,
BS.
yeah.
That was. What do you think, Raj?
I enjoyed it. I like the whole all the storyline and everything. I love the animation. It's really nice and vibrant. Once he gets into the animal world, it's more like the place he was supposed to be because it's a lot brighter colored than the human world, which is kind of drab and gray. So I like a lot of parts of the movie. That's really about it. I liked it, most of it.
I second Josh. This movie's got enough heart for 2 movies.
It really does.
Yeah, for real.
I like the juxtaposition that the humans are empty, that they have something missing, and that the animals don't have that. But at the same time, it's that emptiness, that drive that make the humans a little bit stronger once they realize their purpose and their way than the animals are a lot of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed this film from beginning to end. And to be honest, folks, this literally, from this recording, is the first time I've actually opened and actually watched this movie. I've heard a lot of great things about it. I've wanted to see it, and this was a great opportunity to really sit down and watch it. And just the amount of good times, good laughs, dark times, really dark times, real quick.
Yeah, for real.
Goes from
But
0 to 16.
I
real
do
fast.
like the transition that Rob's talked about with the animation. The human world was so dark and drab because
Well, it's supposed to be realistic.
it was supposed to be, well, that's what I'm saying. You got the realistic side, but at the same time, I think it symbolizes the idea that Ren or Kyuta has this dark side going in the beginning of this film because, mom's gone.
Yep.
Mom's family is
Mom's
lying
family's
to him.
Yeah.
He does no idea where his dad's at.
Yeah.
And it's one of these things where things are just going so bad in the human world. To where he goes into the beast world and all of a sudden everything is starting to look a little more up and up.
Everything's bright and happy.
Everything's
there.
bright and happy. Sure, he had his arguments and his, fights, but
They seem to thrive off of that.
yeah, but see, that's what the thing. That's how the relationship thrived. That's just what they
The
did.
beast world has everything except for the technology. The human world is farther
Yeah,
technologically.
It's
The
very
beast world is still back in the
Edo
Middle
era.
Ages.
I get the impression also that the Beast World is a more high magic world, where
Yeah.
where of course the
No.
modern world is a high tech, no magic world.
Yep.
Well, I always thought that was the thing because when the Lord is like, "Hey, your boy has all these telekinetic powers that even we beasts don't have because of the darkness." It's like, why did you keep it? It's one of those things where it's like, okay, wow, I didn't realize how much power humans could have had.
Yeah.
In that world, that's why they considered it highly dangerous.
Yep.
And so, I mean, that's just what it was. So, any other thoughts you guys might have before?
What about dislikes?
I'm not sure. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was getting to. Any other thoughts? I mean, some
Well, the other thing
dislikes.
I liked was probably the teaching like unit in the animal world.
Yeah.
There's like a stoic like Buddhist who's kind of like teaches him tact and stuff like that. Then kind of a monkey that just kind of doesn't think it's a good idea at all. And then you've got pretty much the bear that's like the grunt, the gruff, but he doesn't have much tact. He'll just spell it out for him. And you see all the differences in the teaching methods through the movie. I really enjoyed that.
The monkey I kind of look at as the weird quirky uncle who just crashes on the couch.
Yeah, because I'm about to say the pig monk to me was
The mother of the group, I guess.
I mean, if you want to call it that, but
He's a very nurturing character.
very nurturing character because he's the one that's like, all right, hey, let's get a fresher start than what you had. Let's start here.
He's also
He has
the
more
most
tact.
patient
Yeah.
of all the three characters.
Very
Until
patient.
one moment where he can't take it anymore, and even when he gets pissed off, he gets pissed off in the right way.
It's not the right way, but it's funny because that was also the same point in the movie where Kyuta actually has matured to the point where he realizes, thank you for yelling at me.
Yeah.
He shows
Give
the
me-
most
give me
respect.
that, give me that
at
understand.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving me the understanding of why you're concerned. However, I got my other things. I got things to do. Yeah.
See, and that's where for me that the movie kind of goes wrong. This
Really?
whole movie, like 2/3 of the movie was all about the heart, the growth, the family connection, and then this conflict happened, and then it was all like just shove all that conflict in your face, and it felt like it was almost like a totally different part of a story that didn't really belong in this one.
Well, the thing about it is, I understand. I do agree with you that as a dislike for me is that nothing was gradual about it.
Yeah.
It's very abrupt.
It was very abrupt because it's sure they explained the darkness.
That's kind of how tragedy happens.
But
boom.
it's like this 9-year period happens, and all of a sudden we're hit with, oh, this guy's a human, and here's the darkness. You know, it's like, what the hell? It's like, no real slow build up, no nothing. It just happens. I'm like, okay.
How long was it?
The movie's 120 minutes. So
Yeah, so pretty solid for an anime feature film.
Very. It's just that I think with that much time, they could have easily have built it up a little bit, and so that way it wasn't so abrupt for them.
Or maybe an extra 15 minutes might have helped.
Because I
agree.
My negative about it was like because it is so that moment where he goes back and then all the stuff with the college trying to like pass the entrance exam and his dad and stuff. It goes from this really fantastical like story about teacher and student he's learning to fight to just
slice of life.
Bureaucracy and college.
Yeah.
I mean, I get why they did it, but it's a little
the banality of the real world.
I was so invested in the first part of the movie, it kind of took me out of it a little bit too quickly.
Yeah.
The fact that it was kind of abrupt, and all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, I'm back in my world again." It's like
you had to choose which one he wanted.
I mean, that's the reason.
But that's just it. He wasn't choosing. He was trying to do both.
Yeah.
He wanted to do both, but he was mad at both worlds for different. He's mad at one world for not for all the same reasons he had when he first got there. The same argument, same this, blah blah blah. And he goes back to the real world and realizes, wait, this is the reason why I left the real world. It's like, no. And I didn't understand because you know how he acted with his dad.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that because I was just like, why are you mad at the guy who literally had no idea that you have been orphaned?
I think that
at all.
I think that the more decent the dad was, the angrier he got. Where he's like, "I will do anything for you if you ask me."
I think that's what
we have experience though. We aren't 18. We aren't raised in that different world. We have been through events like that.
Yes.
We have been mad at the wrong person for all the wrong reasons. We've been mad at the right person for the wrong reason. We've been mad at the wrong person for the right reason. Just all these mixtures. We have life experience that he doesn't have. So I kind of get why he had that moment. It was a little more heartbreaking than like, what the fuck are you doing?
It really was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Because it's that one moment where it's like, oh, finally, it's like, that's my son. I didn't know what happened. We thought you might have been dead all these years.
Yeah.
Apparently we can get a fresh start.
First of all, ain't seen him in 9 years.
Yeah.
By this point.
Probably longer.
Plus, we don't know how long he was gone from the life when the mom and him divorced.
Yeah.
So he might not have seen his kid till when his kid was 3, 5, 7. We don't know.
I mean, it was a huge deal. So, but anything from you, Raj? I mean,
I didn't like.
Yeah.
Not really. I liked about everything. It does have a kind of a tonal change about the last act of the movie, but I think that's probably his reactions to what happens then is because of the first 2 parts of the movie. Is how I took it, kind of, and that's how he reacted because the boy he was at the beginning wouldn't have been able to handle what happened at the end.
I wouldn't think so either.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the only thing good to me about the confrontation with the other human kid is Ren coming to realize that his friendship with the girl, the love of his bear dad, the family unit that he's made with the Uncle Monkey and the nurturing pig monk, and even the beginning reconnection with his real father, that all that stuff makes him a better person.
Yeah.
And it keeps even the little fluff ball.
And I like that to go along with that at the very where they're having the big celebration for Kyuta, and Kaidi says, "I was invited," and she asks him, "So I've got your entrance exam. Do you want to try to get into college?" And he's like, "Yeah, I think I'm going to do that."
And I like that, but it's funny because he knows he has a home either way. Yeah, and he's finally just been like, "Yep, I'm just going."
I think he's like, honestly, why do I need to decide that I can't live one place and live in the other place?
I think that's something very special about The Boy and the Beast in Japanese culture. Really, is because they're just now kind of getting into this whole split family, like divorced parents.
Oh no, you're right.
Together.
Because like an entire extended family living in the same house.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, usually when the parents got divorced, the kid went with one or the other, and now both in our culture and now theirs as well.
Mhm.
There's
They
the
can go
motif of
two
keeping,
families.
of keeping both parents involved, helping the kid as best they can.
And in this case, this is exactly what it is. He's got one family in one world, and realistically, now he's back with a family in his own world.
And the only difference is he's got a magic talking bear in his soul.
Yep. Well, I like these movies because they always keep up with the love interest. I always think that's the thing. And actually, that whole fight scene was just freaking hilarious. He's like, "Hey man, you didn't see anything, did you?" Bam! He's like, "Yeah, you didn't see anything at all." And all of a sudden, you don't see nothing. You just see 3 guys down and 2 chicks going, "We out." It's like, we go. So you know what? I think it's a good place. I think we've talked this movie up pretty good, if you ask me. How about we get things started with our actual scoring?
Do you want to do that again?
Hmm?
Do you want to give it some scorings?
Well, it's a movie, not a series.
That's
So
fine with me.
that's like. So who wants to actually talk about the visuals on this one?
I mean, I got a real quick one.
Go for
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's it.
Didn't one of you, I don't remember who, but didn't somebody call it like a Miyazaki almost?
That'd be him.
Like I call the animal world the Miyazaki world because everything's like anthropomorphic. Everything's alive and talks.
I'm not the most observant person, but are the art styles that different from the real world and the animal world?
No,
I wouldn't
Or was
say
it just
really.
the color
I
palette?
don't think it's
Just
the
the
color
color
palettes.
Okay.
That's really all it was. Realistically,
And you never get Chico explained.
However, a slight addendum to my opinion of the visuals. Darkness Whale looked freaking fantastic.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, the big. Yeah.
the space whale.
So I mean, the visuals were spot on.
Oh yeah.
They really
by
were.
far.
Pretty much for everything. I mean, I'm sure 2 wouldn't be a hard score to give from everybody, to be honest. If we want to talk about our audio, I thought the voice acting was fine.
Really good dub, yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very nice dub.
Pretty solid music.
The music, I think, set the tone for a good chunk of this movie
Yeah.
very well. Up even at the darkest part where they're fighting, the music just kind of revved up, even close to the final moments.
Yeah.
They let you know that this fight was serious and it's going down.
But even in like the big fight scene songs, they have little moments, little beats where it really hits what other characters, like especially in the fight with the whale, like that one part where Kaidi steps up and basically confronts the beast, and like there's a nice little note in the music to like kind of set up her speech in the fight.
Yeah, indeed.
Because time always stops for a soliloquy.
And that's just the most.
And fights.
It just happens a lot.
Slows down.
What are you talking about? I'm like 8, 9. Get up! Get up!
No one asked you to come back here!
Well, you should get up because you're an idiot.
4-minute dialogue.
What did you say? 2 minutes worth of, like 2-3 minutes worth of dialogue and like less than a second.
Yeah.
I was like, something about
Apparently.
that seemed wrong, but whatever.
Yeah, it was a thing.
It was funny.
Time out.
I wasn't blown away by the audio. I do think it was adequate, but I wasn't. But then I'm not as observant about music like some of y'all are. So
Was it? I'm not saying it was like the best of the best by no stretch, but I'm just saying it. To me, it did what it did in the right spots. However, I will agree with Dave to a bit. I'm not sure if I would necessarily give this a 2 per se, but a 1.
A very solid
A
one.
very solid 1.
Yep.
So I will go with that. Now, you were a man of familia type movies
Yes.
and life. So go ahead and put the story on this for you.
I would give I'm going to give the story a 2. I mean,
I
it is
agree.
a very good story, and the only dent, in my opinion, is that switch from one genre into this confrontation. I understand why it has to happen to bring the circle of the story around. I just think that it was very abrupt, and had that smoothed it out, there'd be no hesitation in calling this a top tier story film.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, they give you several abrupt moments that I think.
But the other ones flow well because they do the training montage to show him growing up.
I do like
That's
that.
beautiful classic trope.
Oh yeah.
I like that part. It's the parts that are just abrupt was the fact that so I'm back in the human world. I'm like, okay. And of course he figures out how to go back and forth with
Yep.
relative ease.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just one alleyway.
Just gotta learn the maze, buddy.
It's
Well,
more
no,
like a
you have to.
maze.
You have to learn the exact way of actually walking the maze to actually get there.
Yep.
And granted, the first time he did it was completely by accident.
Oh, yeah.
You should just be glad he didn't end up in Cincinnati.
True.
You have
Nothing against Cincinnati, but he's Japanese. What would he have done?
okay, fair enough.
Okay.
But I guess we want to talk about overall enjoyment. Why not? To be honest, there's nothing to not enjoy about this movie. To be honest,
Yeah.
I mean,
Unless you hate happiness.
I mean,
nice
don't get me
visuals.
wrong. We talk about abruptions and how it was odd that they went fast paced in certain spots, but overall, the story that was being told was told well. And received, I'm sure, between at least the four of us giving our opinions very well.
Well, the characters are lovable. The story is fun.
Yeah, and I
There's-
don't know
there's-
how many times you kept saying, "I like this character." Turn around, God, I hate this character.
Nah, the monkey. I didn't like the monkey.
I like the monkey. I like
love
the monkey.
He was
I
great.
thought the monkey was
He's
in.
My favorite was he was the gatekeeper for all the new students.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he don't have good parts. He does some amazing things. I think Roger's opinion of the angriest Bear-Stained Bears ever was pretty funny.
Angriest Berenstain Bears movie ever.
well, I still think the monk was probably the monk and the Lord were probably two of my favorite characters.
Porky the Buddhist.
The Lord, because he was very comedic in my opinion, because
yeah.
he would show up and be like, "What's going on here?"
But all the
And-
lords that they met were all weird.
Weird.
Oh yeah.
I like the Buddha mandrill.
Buddha mandrill. That was
Pretty
great.
much.
Well, no, the rabbit was great because, like, he would show up and he'd be like, "What's going on?" And, like, he would just randomly just be in wherever the camera happened to be.
Yeah.
And and everyone was trying to keep up with him, but he was just like,
He's fast.
do. He goes, "Oh, I made my decree. You know, he can keep the boy, and we move on with ourselves. See ya."
Yep.
And he's like, "Bye." I was like,
Oh, and here's a letter of introduction to each of the other lands.
Yep.
"Go for it."
Peace, deuces.
Deuces.
I made my decisions away with you.
And he's just like,
Funny field trip. Peace.
he's like, "Where the hell did he get?" He's like, "I have to do this? Dang it!" It's like, it was great. But the thing about the pig monk that got me was for him to be so patient throughout the entire movie, knowing that the Boy and the Beast literally argued constantly. That things didn't go their way. They trashed the place, did all sorts of stuff. The way they handled the apprentices was not necessarily ideal. But at the same time, it was that point where he finally took a stand and said, "No, I'm tired of being patient. Something needs to be said. 'Cause
Yeah.
I need to make sure what's about to happen does not happen,
Or happens the right way.
or happens the right way.
Yeah.
I need to make sure this is going to happen." And that moment I thought was nice. As much as it kind of made a shift in,
The character's motif.
motif, I think it was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I think this would be a very good introduction film.
Yeah.
Indeed.
It
It's
is,
not too weird or out there.
Yeah,
For a natural audience.
and there's not a huge cultural shock
Yeah.
either. So
I actually think, like, if one needed something, like some kind of anime feature to use as far as, like, maybe a college course or a school club, I
Right.
think this would be a really good
Good
choice.
one. Yeah.
and definitely anime 101, as Mike would say.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
And if you got a furry fetish,
I knew you were going to say that eventually. I was trying to figure out when.
Yeah.
you must wait for the right times.
So, ladies and gentlemen, please check out Boy and the Beast. Funimation has it. They're the ones that kind of brought it over. So that, you have to figure that out.
Yeah, the video records backwards.
Yeah.
Definitely check it out. Worth picking up. And, hey, Wolf Children's a good movie. I say go back and watch. Eventually, I think I need to get my hands on Summer Wars. So
As much as I like Wolf Children, I would actually advise you watch that one first.
really,
Yeah,
I like this one better.
Wolf Children comes at it in a different way.
It
This
does.
one's more upbeat,
It's more slice of life than this one. This one's more fantasy based.
and that's fun.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I've never seen Wolf Children, so.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of heart,
Yeah.
but some of it's a little sad.
I mean, here's the thing about Mamoru Hosoda. He's actually, in a way, succeeding to the idea of Miyazaki because Miyazaki's pretty much pretty much wanting to retire and move, kind of step away and whatnot, and
He wants to, but the people don't want him to.
but if anybody's gonna succeeded in making these animated films like the way they've been doing.
Yeah.
Hosoda's the one that's easily able to take the reins. And with this with 3 films so far underneath his belt that we have in the States at least, he's doing a really good job.
I enjoyed this as much as I have any of the other.
Personally, before we take off, I will attempt to get my hands on Summer Wars. I really do want to see that one too, because that's the first film that we got of his, and just hadn't had a chance to really dive into it. So,
and of course, if you have any suggestions, give them to us. Put them in the comments below, and we will be happy to try to find them and watch them.
We'll try and watch almost anything.
Yeah, we will, as long as we have access to it.
Yep.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is ASR Anime, along with
Josh,
Roger,
Chris,
and Dave. It's always Dave.
Always Dave. You're live from Studio D.